We'll move on then to board matters and public hearing on the year-round school calendar for 2014-15. As part of tonight's regular meeting of the Board of Education, we will be conducting a public hearing in connection with the district's academic calendar for next school year. Here's how we will proceed. First, I'll call on Dr. Good and his team to share with us their recommendation about next year's academic calendar. Once that has been completed, we will allow the public to give testimony on the proposed calendar. As is our practice, each speaker will be allowed 4 minutes to make a presentation. Following any public testimony, the board will take the calendar under advisement with the anticipation that we will consider and vote on it at our May 6th meeting. Now turn the floor over to the superintendent.
Thank you, President Baker, members of the board, and I'll turn the floor over to Board Liaison Jason Smith, who will present the year-round calendar for its last and hopeful final reading.
There we go. President Baker, members of the board, I'll be very brief this evening because this is very similar to the public hearing and presentation we had at the last board meeting. Just briefly remind you of the context for why we're here this evening. Last year, the state budget bill, House Bill 59, included provisions that change the way we calculate minimum time for instruction in the state of Ohio from days to hours. As part of those provisions, they also included the requirement that we have a public hearing when we formally adopt our calendar. And if you'll recall, in the past, the board has not directly adopted the calendar. It has done so indirectly by adopting the CEA agreement, so that was bargained. So now we need to have this public hearing. This evening is the public hearing for our year-round calendar. Last board meeting, we had our public hearing for the traditional school calendar with the anticipation that the board will be asked to officially adopt both calendars at its May 6th meeting. So I'm going to skip these first couple of slides. They will look familiar to you. They are the same as the last meeting, but I wanted to leave them there for the benefit of anyone in the audience who may not have been here for the previous hearing. And I will skip ahead to the proposed calendar for our year-round schools, which next year would be Woodcrest Elementary School. The proposed schedule for the year-round school is that teachers would report on July 28th, 2014. Students would report on July 30th, 2014. Last student day is June 10th, 2015. Last teacher day is June 11th, 2015. And then, of course, as you know, our year-round schools have intersessions, and so we have there the intersession schedule. Fall intersessions, 2 weeks. We have a 2-week winter break followed by a 1-week intersession, July 5th through the 9th. Spring intersession is 2 weeks, and then followed by 1 week of spring recess. The benefits of this calendar, there were some changes made. We did work with the principal at Woodcrest to come up with some scenarios for how to try and make this calendar a little bit more balanced. There's been some challenges due to testing dates. That is more of a long-term project for us to look at. Last year, we do need to work with the Ohio Department of Education to see if there's any flexibility around some of those dates. But we did make some modifications this year based upon recommendations from the principal on intersession. The one that is probably of most interest to you would be the winter break and winter intersession. Previously, that was a combined 4 weeks. Oftentimes, reviewing it, we notice that attendance during that intersession isn't as strong as we would like it to be because it is combined with the winter recess. And so to make sure that we are getting students back into the classroom, we've decided to shorten that so that it would be 2 weeks of winter recess and then a 1-week intersession, and then school would commence. And so if there are no questions at this time, that would conclude our hearing. Or speakers, rather.
Are there any members of the public who wish to testify concerning the proposed calendar? The board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, questions from board members. Ms.
Yes.
Gibbs?
I have a question. was this calendar created in conjunction or in concert with both CEA and OPSI and our administrators? Did they have input on this calendar?
President Baker, Board Member Gibbs, I am reluctant to say yes to OPSI because I don't know that for certain. I know that our Labor Relations team did work with and provide this draft calendar to CEA for their review. And I also know that the principal worked with her staff at the building in making this recommendation.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from board members? Thank you, Mr. Smith.